Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hi, everyone. Hi, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're going to have a wonderful show with a wonderful doctor, a friend of mine, and child psychiatrist, discussing shame busting, the power of our words, thoughts, and actions, and how they can really affect everyone. I'll informally introduce Dr. Denise. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh. Happy holidays. It's lovely to be here. Thanks, Tiffany.
Happy holidays. And I'm just going to bring Ed in here. As soon as he unmutes, we'll start the live radio show. And happy Friday. Let's see.
Woohoo!
Get lots of love from India. Great to have Dr. Denise as a guest. She's such an awesome person to be around with, from Jason in India.
Oh, hi, Jason.
And Abby on YouTube. Morning. Happy Friday from Seattle. Hi, Abby.
Yay.
Joe Potosi, thanks for joining us today. Invite your friends to watch the show. Please invite your friends to watch the show. Call in with comments or questions, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And happy Friday, everyone, from Summit Innovations on Facebook. So I got YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all live. Thank you, everyone. Please share the show and support. Change can only come when we stand together as one. And if you're watching on whatever platform you are, make sure you hit a like. So a lot of times we don't remember to actually like this stuff. Hit the like. And anyway, as soon as Ed unmutes, we can start the show. And got Joe Potosi here, 866-826-1340. so many friends, and thank you so much. And if you haven't already, you can text the number 22828. Just text it. Text MOC.
4 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Moments of Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today, we're going to be talking about shame busting, the power of our words, thoughts, and actions. And especially over the holidays, we need to be mindful of that and other topics as well. Before I formally introduce my guest, I would like to say hi to Ed.
Hey, happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Hi, Ed. How's it sound?
It's like we're in a wind tunnel or something.
We're in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I hear is
better.
Still, like,
Is that better?
I still hear it sounds like a wind. Sounds like wind is going through.
I don't hear it.
It's a vibration. Yeah. Gets loud, then it goes down, it goes up and down.
Is it worse?
Yeah, now it's worse. Yeah.
It's worse now? I don't know. It's just the computer.
Okay. I just hear it sounds like you were outside or something. It's just I don't know what it is. I can still hear you though, but go ahead.
Oh, was it better before? Regardless, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Introduce you to Dr. Denise. And so before I formally introduce her, I was getting ready and I remembered a joke that I heard a long time ago. And I might be like socially like ruining myself here. But it is something I heard a long time ago. So you want to hear it? Okay. So there's a lady that she's pregnant and she gets in a car accident and she wakes up from a coma and the doctor says, "Don't worry, you're pregnant with twins and the twins are fine. And you had a beautiful boy and a beautiful girl." And she goes, "Okay, great." And he goes, "Your brother was here and he took care of everything. He named them and everything." And she's like, "My brother? No, he's an idiot. Well, what do you name them?" And he goes, "He named the girl Denise." And she says, "Well, Denise, that's pretty. That's not bad. And what about the boy?" And he goes, "The nephew." And you're supposed to be on for that one.
I heard it.
Denise,
you're fun. I've heard that.
Anyway, Dr. Denise, just thought it would be kind of a stupid.
It's fun. Laughter's powerful.
All right. So my guest today, Dr. Denise McDermott, is a medical doctor, and she completed her adult psychiatry residency at Emory University and her child psychology fellowship at University of California, Los Angeles, and was acting chief fellow. She treats adolescents, children, and adults and has over 40,000 hours of clinical expertise in her private practice since 2001. And her goal is to empower her patients and her families and their families to live the best life possible. She's received the Outstanding Physician Award at UCLA in the year 2000 and was president of the South California Psychiatric Society and guest lecturer at UCLA. And she's done so many other things, written books. She was honored to be a guest speaker at the Dalai Lama and also hosts a podcast called The Dr. Denise Show, and it has over 40,000 downloads and so much more. And welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Dr. Denise.
Oh, thanks, Tiffany. Yay. It's an honor to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here.
I just want to say thank you. Gratitude's so important. We talk about the power of words. And I just want to thank you for your devotion to being on the front lines of changing the way we think, talk, and act about mental health. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we have to stand together to change the power of mental health together. Because change can only come when we stand together as one, right?
Absolutely.
So what got you into all of this in the beginning? And every time you say moment of clarity, you get a bell, by the way.
Okay, moment of clarity. Well, when we look back, I like to look back at who we are as kids. And when I was a teenager, it's really interesting. So many of my friends, I would get my homework done, and then all of a sudden the phone would start ringing, and I was already advising people on dating, relationships. So sometimes if we look back at what we're doing now, it's sort of like an innate gift. And then throughout medical school, I didn't know going into medical school I was going to become an adult and child psychiatrist, but every rotation, I would just know how to ask the right questions. So, for instance, in my peds rotation, I went into the room. This little girl was having a tummy ache. She had just moved from Africa, and people weren't figuring out it was way more symptoms. And when I went in the room, there's something about when you create a sacred space of trust. This little girl confided in me that she had just tried to kill herself that morning. So I was a third-year med student. You got your little white coat. You go out to give the other doctors what you think's going on, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, she really opened up to you." And so that happened on all my rotations, and I then thought, this is kind of just naturally who I am. And I remember another man, I went in there, he had been losing so much weight, and no one could figure out in internal medicine. And when I went in there, he confided that he was drinking so much alcohol. And I went in another time, they're like, wow. So I think that it's just kind of like innately within my makeup
Yeah.
to be someone. And also I do want to give a shout out to my father. He's no longer here. He's in heaven, my belief system. But my father was really brave and able to get sober. So when I was age 11, I already was kind of grown up in a way. When you're in an alcoholism household, sometimes you're like the identified older, like I was always looking for vodka bottles when I was little. And so my father, yay, and yay to anyone out there that's fighting a battle in any way, he was able to go and get some help and become sober. And so I think that's a big part of my kind of humility and the ability to take out the shame. When I'm with people, I create a space. And I think that that's so important when we're trying to seek help for mental, physical health in any type. Taking the shame out is really important.
Right. I couldn't agree more, especially when it's undeserved shame or guilt or things, because we're all human beings. And a lot of times things happen as children to children that they don't deserve and they live with and feel that they're growing up with shame or guilt or things like that, or survivor guilt, or making a mistake and feeling like it's their fault, or abuse survivors, things of that nature. And those are things that are not ours to carry. But not only that, to forgive ourselves, because most of the time we react when we feel shame or guilt or should-haves or would-haves and all those mind-altering, anxiety-driven things that go through our head that we need to get out of our head and be more mindful of now instead of mindful of that kind of stuff. But busting the shame because of our actions and words, and that the way that we feel within can project onto others.
Well, and I think, we're talking about shame busting and the power of words, thoughts, and actions. And we are here having an earth experience. So I also want to say that feelings matter. all of your feelings are valid. So if you feel shame or you feel guilt or you feel worried or you feel sad, kind of learn how to be your own best friend and an observer of the feeling, because feelings carry energy and power. You know, we live in this universe that's so amazing, and the unseen energy of our feelings, when we go into the suffering or into the feeling, whether we need to get help or not, we can use that energy to go on our own ladder of crisis, stabilization, and thrive throughout life. Whether or not you ever even see a psychiatrist, see a therapist, or need to, it's so important to be mindful of what you're telling yourself, your own inner dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And
make sure that it's positive, because
yeah, or reframing it. What's cool is you can grab and go, like cognitive behavioral therapy. It's like you might have shame, but you're like, why am I having shame? Okay, well, maybe I did that. Oh, okay, so what can I do to
why am I
into the
thinking
feeling
this?
and shift it?
Cognitive behavioral therapy, for our listeners, is how we think can react to our behavior. So if we reframe how we think into a positive mindset, our behaviors change. So cognitive thinking, behavior to change a behavior. It works really well with addiction or trying to break a bad habit, things like that, of that nature. They call it CBT. Another one is dialectical behavioral therapy. DBT is being mindful, like kind of what I was saying before, being in the present, being in the now, and not using or speaking from emotion. So when you're angry and things like that, be mindful of here and now, and careful what you say when you're emotional, because we're not thinking with logic. And then most of the people go back and say, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I was upset, things like that. But if we think about what we say before we say it, a lot of times it'll save a lot of hurt to the loved ones and for anything like that. So those are very helpful tools in busting the shame of words and thoughts.
I also want to acknowledge that the time we're at in history, because of everyone's it's on the front of our minds to be healthy right now. We're talking about our immune system, our mental health, our well-being. And I think that, Tiffany, you were doing the shows, and I've been doing shows before. Mental health is like kind of like the new sexy. And I think it's incredible because it needs to be.
I wouldn't call it the new sexy, but like orange is the new black, mental health is the new sexy.
But let me be really clear. Okay, when I say that, we're living in a huge planet, 7.8 billion people, and there's what I call the pulse of consciousness. So when I say the new sexy, it's everywhere. It's like the buzzword. It's in entertainment. It's in education. Everyone's being vulnerable, transparent. People have been given permission to tell their story. A long way.
So like,
yeah. And
on
so another thing,
New Year's Eve, it'll be my 600th episode, and 7 years of doing this. And 7 years ago, it was hard for me to get someone to be a guest on the show, because they're like, I'm not putting my junk out there. Like, I don't want to tell my story and everything. Now it's on in the NFL, people coming out, not at the Olympics, celebrities, music artists talking about mental health, people asking to come on the show and tell their story, But
look at what I did. I have to say something. When I use the word sexy, that's even a fun way of talking about the power of words, thoughts, and actions. If we want to get people's attention, we can throw in some fun words. So, you know what I mean? It's like grab and go.
For me, the last thing I want to use with clients is the word sexy. Thinking of
it's to know your audience. I'll just say it's always a know your audience. And the one thing I want to say on a really serious note is what people don't realize is that 50% of all lifelong mental health challenges begin before age 14, 75% before age 23. So any way that we can start the discussion as young as possible. One of my
that is a fun way to say it. I'd say mental health is more like the new trend, but
it's on the forefront on everyone's mind. But you and I have been talking and doing our different shows. But do you want to dive into like some tips and tools over the holidays?
Yes, I definitely do. And that's where I was going to go next, but it's time for our first break. And that's really cool, though. This is fun already. But we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. So please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
If you're a show host, gamer, live streamer, podcast host, or radio show host that would like your message to get out and reach up to 30 platforms, then there's an affordable way to do that. It's called Restream. Restream makes it easy to broadcast professional live videos from your browser to multiple social platforms at once. Start your live show with guests, brand it with logos and overlays, and create an interactive experience for your audience. Learn more at Restream.io and mention Moments of Clarity for special offers.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name's Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And my guest today is Dr. Denise McDermott, and she is a well-established medical doctor and completed adult psychiatry residency and her child psychiatry, and has her own podcast, guest speaker at the Dalai Lama, and does so much, and author and everything. Welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Dr. Denise.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So yesterday we were talking, I had Patrick Miller on, and we were talking about stress over the holidays and tips and things like that, and holiday stress, such as, you know, it's okay to miss loved ones and grieving and relationship problem, like people missing each other, and things to do to budget and save money and not overstress and not feel like you have to give expensive gifts, because just even a phone call, a text is, or reach out is priceless and free, you know. Holiday tips. But how about, in your opinion, you know, you're really big on neuroplasticity and how we think over the holidays and your neurostyle. And what would you say during the holidays, how we can keep our minds in check from going over the top or letting our depression or anxiety or stress get to the best of us?
So the tips I'm going to give are tips we can use all year round.
Okay.
One of the things I always tell myself is the only moment I have is right now. And then I take a deep breath. And so one of the big tips I would say to that is sometimes it feels like everything's coming at us, especially with the holidays. Do I do the cards? Do I get back to someone? Am I going to this social event? Also, the holidays can be triggers. So I think one of the biggest tip is to do continued self-care and make sure you stay on track, because we know if 80 to 90% of the time we're making good choices with good nutrition, exercise, meditation, sleep, And then also knowing our neurostyle, it's a term I've coined that we all process and perceive things in our own unique way. So the power of what our inner voice tells us, right? Like, for instance, let me give you an example. I'm like, I did Thanksgiving cards, but do I need to do holiday cards? And then I told myself, you don't have to decide right now. Be
Thanksgiving
authentic.
cards?
I did it for fun because I was so thankful. Because
You
gratitude.
torture yourself.
But this ties in though, because
I'm
gratitude.
not making fun of you, but I'm
You're-
just like, I don't even do Christmas cards anymore because
No,
it's too much.
But this is really fun though. I decided to do Thanksgiving cards because I always talk about gratitude's my secret sauce. And I was so grateful that my son has some challenges in school, and he finally found all of our children have been suffering so much with the pandemic, with Zoom school and then going back. And a lot of my patients, this applies to the holidays too. People are like on almost like sensory overload because they were on lockdown. And then we're always getting different news coming at us. And so the reason why I did the Thanksgiving cards was to model gratitude. Because I'm like, yay! And even on the card,
Like, and you like to do things a little bit outside the box. So if everyone does holiday cards, then you're going to give Thanksgiving cards.
right. But my point is around the holidays is we have to know ourselves, because to me, the other thing I told myself is the holidays are kind of like man-made. I'm not trying to be like not reverent about, I think people celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah and all different world religions. So I honor and respect tradition. But if we tell ourselves in our inner voice, every day can be a holiday, and then on your list, have it be manageable with your positive self-talk. So you can tell yourself, this is the idea of what I'd want to accomplish. But then if you don't beat yourself up. It shouldn't be that should. And the other thing you can do, oh my gosh, you're going to laugh. You're going to make fun of me. Okay. So I'm my own housekeeper. I keep a house. I'm a little diva that way. And I told myself in the morning, like, oh man, I have to do the dishes. And then I started telling myself this new tape I'm putting in my head. I love doing the dishes. You're so into it. So I do these funny like brain hacks where I put music on. I light candles. I have a candle lit today to like bless the show. I do all these like fun things to keep
I have a
the
candle
energy.
lit. It's just not real.
It is. It's awesome.
I have Netflix fireplace. We have a question in the audience from Joe off of LinkedIn. What if one of your triggers is a close family member who will be at a Christmas party? Do you totally ignore that person, or do you go basically?
I love that question. I actually I have a show that I'm releasing today where we talked about that, but I want to tell you, everything's about quantity and quality of what we can handle. And so if you're about to go to a holiday event, you should have, I know we talked about this before, you can take a separate car. Like let's say it's a big family event and one family member's neurostyle is super outgoing and they want to stay for the 8 hours. But someone else is like, oh my gosh, I said enough small talk.
We've talked about this on the Thanksgiving show when we were all on.
So to answer Joe's question, thank you for asking that. I think it's really also a very unique choice, because if you've had, it depends on the quantity and quality. If you've had severe trauma, like let's say an unbelievable situation happened with abuse or neglect, and there's family members that are going to be at a huge party and you might get triggered. I just counseled someone in my practice. She was having a huge party at her home, early 20s, and her parents were throwing a party, and there were certain relatives she just didn't like. So we literally came up with a way that she could do like a graceful swoop in, smile, talk to who she wants to talk. And we had an exit strategy of her hanging out in her room the rest of the time. And so I think it's really important before you go into a social gathering of any type that you know what you want to get out of it. And you have to do a risk benefit ratio of, do I go because it's going to be nice to honor my family, but can I go for a short time? You could also get there early, really early, or come at the end. There's different strategies to kind of get through a holiday event and do the best that you can.
I think that also, kind of on the flip side, I have clients that are adult survivors of family incest. So they molested by a cousin when they were younger, or a brother or an uncle or whatever, and the family doesn't either know, or they didn't believe them, or just ignore it. And I say, do what makes you happy. We can't please everyone else. And if you're going to get triggered by someone that's harmed you in the past, then, and the family is not going to support you on keeping you safe, then that's up to you. I don't think that just because it's a vacation that we have to make it an obligation to appease everyone. You could call the people that you love, that you want to talk to, and not put yourself in that situation where you're around someone that harmed you in the past, or that's toxic, or any of that, because no one needs to be around that. And one of my clients actually did hide in her room the whole time and cried because there was a toxic member in the family that had done that and acted like nothing happened. And holidays happen once a year, and to have to deal with that or worry about that, having to run into somebody that you don't want to see that was incestual or abusive, then you don't have to go. And
So, can I give a real tip too? First of all, I want to just do a sacred pause. You see my playful side, but the reverent, I want to honor what you're talking about. I want to send love to anyone that's ever gone through any sort of emotional, sexual, or violent abuse. And one thing we can do to give ourselves some love if we have a trigger is we can put our hand on our heart, take a deep breath, send ourselves love. And if we have energy coming at us, whether it's from a family member, media, or any way, we can take those words that might have triggered us and we can actually imagine them going up into the air and turning into something neutral and then something positive, so that we don't take on the energy of that experience again. It's a quantum understanding of the universe. It's very powerful. And besides any tools of seeing a therapist, or if you need medicine for mental health, we're our own healers. We're our own best friend. And I love words. And I have a really fun word I just want to introduce right now that I came up with. It's called in. And it's when you're in integrity to yourself, your own self-love, and then in integrity to those around you. So that's another in. You can say that, and then you can check in. And am I in integrity? Does this feel right? It's absolutely okay to say no to going to any event that would trigger you. You've got to love
not
yourself.
even that, especially if you've healed from this within yourself, you've forgiven them from afar, you've forgiven yourself, and all that stuff. And then imagine it'd be like going to a court hearing and having to face the person that assaulted you or something. You don't have to be in the same room and have to relive it and traumatize yourself like that. Or if it's a parent that is toxic, or that's what those cards are for. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever. Send it and have a great time and have your own traditions, because it's our holiday too. And most of the time, at least the experiences that I know of, the family knew about it and they just kind of brushed it under the rug. And
So
why ruin the holiday by putting yourself around someone that stole your innocence, so to speak? I don't know. I honestly wouldn't go. I mean, have my own thing and start my own tradition and not be around a bunch of people that make me uncomfortable. I would never put myself in a situation to be around people that made me uncomfortable or hurt me, because I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I'd be like, ho, 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 happy holidays, whatever. No. I don't know. You know me, Dr. Denise. I pretty much say what I think. So
I love it. I love it.
It might turn into a holiday
Tell us what you're really
instead
thinking,
of bash.
Tiffany.
I don't know.
Hear me. Tell us what you're really thinking, Tiffany. I love
You
it.
don't have to ask me
No,
that.
but I love your authenticity. That's what's really important. I think if we're raising, I work with all ages. I think if you were telling a child, be your own best friend, that goes through all ages, right? And what you were just talking about, I want to broaden that out, is a lot of us have what I would call living losses. People that are still alive during the holidays, you see these commercials and it makes everything look so happy and jolly, and we're supposed to say merry and happy all the time. But there's a lot of times we have estrangement from people. So I think that acknowledging that and then taking inventory of who is in our tribe, that's where I flip it. I do a lot of gratitude. I mean, if you live close to me, you'd probably be like, okay, step away from the positivity. But I think it's so important because I personally go in and out throughout my day as a doctor. I might have someone in crisis and then I'll go and do a show. So I have to take pauses throughout the day. And I think it's important to remember that we can hit reset all the time.
Hey, that sounds like great advice. We can control our thoughts. We can control our mood. But just to recap, I think that over the holidays, don't put yourself in any position, especially if it's traumatic, that it's not worth it. Our own mental health and our own wellness and our own inner peace is more important than trying to appease other family members. And if they can't understand that, then they can get coal in their stocking from Santa. Then Santa's going to give them coal. I don't know. Rudolph's not coming to their house. We have a caller waiting, but it's time for our second break before we get into that. So let's take our break, and then we'll get to a caller. Kirk's waiting on the line, and good advice. We'll be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Moments of clarity. Ding, I want a bell.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor and your host of Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, a live radio show based on ending the stigma on mental health, which has been aired for the past 7 years, and it has had inspirational stories from exceptional guests. And this New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2021, we will be celebrating our 600th episode. We're so excited, and we hope to see you there. 600th episode, wow, and 7 years on ending the stigma on mental health. For more information, you can visit the website at mocwithtiffany.com, and hope to see you there. Please be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. And network with me, because change can only come when we stand together as one. See you there. Happy holidays and God bless.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello, and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're talking about shame busting, the power of our words, actions, and behaviors and thoughts, and also holiday stress, keeping a positive mindset, avoiding toxic family if you need to, and having a wonderful holiday for yourself and not everyone else. And my guest today is a child psychiatrist, as well as an author and a podcast host, and so much more. And welcome back, Dr. Denise.
Yay, thank you.
And before we went to break, we got a caller. We got caller Kirk. Hi, Kirk. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hi, it's an honor to be here. And
long time no talk.
Exactly.
Kirk was on the show yesterday.
Hi, Kirk.
Both of you. Hi there. I had to absolutely call in. I'm a little under the weather today, but one of the things that caught my attention was just learning how to be positive. And when you talk about shame, one of the things that I felt for so long was shame over so many different things that weren't even under my control. And one of the things that really helped me were people like the two of you that pointed out that I didn't need to feel shame. And so I just wanted to, say, to anyone out there, when you say something nice to someone else, when you build them up, a lot of times that can be a life-changing experience for them.
Hey.
It doesn't take much.
Shame for what, Kurt?
Everything from, being, I saw myself as a failure because I wasn't fitting, the normal diagram for career progression or for finances. When I lost a house that I was really proud of, I felt like I was a failure. So, there were so many different times in my life where I felt like that. And it wasn't until, a few years ago.
You didn't lose the house. Let's be real.
No. Well, it's one of those things where that's what I felt. And
okay.
I had people like you, just like what you just said. and
that kind of stuff happens when the situation you were in, and I don't want to call you out on it, happens.
No, it was an impossible situation. And but a lot of times, we blame ourselves for things that are not in our control. And when you have people around you that are positive and point out what's good about you and that you don't need to feel that kind of shame, it really helped catapult me into a much better mindset and understanding that those things weren't my fault.
Well, not only that, but you're in a much better place where you are now than where you were in that big house.
Absolutely.
You shed yourself from a lot of bad stuff that was in the house, so to speak.
And that's one of those other things too, is, as we kind of journey and we move forward, it's so nice to have people that help build us up. And, those kind of events changed my trajectory, and they helped me become aware that I had potential, that I could do things that I wanted to do. And, to all the people out there that are feeling, stressed out or feel like they're not where they're supposed to be, they're not making enough money, whatever the case might be, believe in yourself and pay attention to the people that build you up and ignore the people that tear you down, because they're not doing it for the right reasons, and they might have their own issues too. But pay attention to the people that actually point out what you do great, because it just makes a world of difference. At least to me it did, and I wanted to thank you both while I had the opportunity.
Thank you.
What are some positive things that you have changed, though? I mean, well, besides your mindset, like you don't need to chase happiness. You don't need to be exactly where you want to be, where exactly you feel like you need to be in life to
I agree. I've changed mostly my mindset on when I need to arrive at my goal. So I've changed my mindset on time, and I've also really tried to look at what things are in my life that are great. So, I used to kind of go off on a negative spin. So I'd only see the things that I didn't have, I didn't achieve. I wanted, instead of I have this, I am blessed with, some people that really love me and that are great guides through this life. Even, whether you're just taking a warm shower, not everybody even has a warm shower. So there's all sorts of things in our life, just being mindful every moment of what I actually have instead of what I don't. And that kind of cascaded off, and each year gets a little bit easier to do that. It's not easy to suddenly change. And I had to be graceful with myself, because it can't happen instantaneously. But with the right people supporting you, you can get there. And that's what, to me, the holidays are about, is remembering all of the good things that we are lucky enough to have, whether that's friends. You have Ed in the back there, who's amazing. You two, which are just amazing friends. So, and the lives that you change daily, both of you, because of the work you do. So that kind of stuff really matters, and that's the stuff I like to focus on. My life's just happier when I'm looking at what I have. So, well, thank you both. I adore you both.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Kirk.
Absolutely.
And likewise, back at you. You're an amazing friend too.
Well, you both have
you and your family.
Well, I want to just honor that Kirk is on a journey of embracing his neurostyle. And I did a deep dive series this fall that's on embracing your neurostyle. And I've had Tiffany on the show, I've had Kirk. And so we've got so many ways that we can motivate the listeners with different shows, music, to figure out how to do this. It's not so easy. It's a lot harder than we think. So Kirk, thank you for your vulnerability and calling in, and thank you just for being in our lives. And thank you for it's just awesome. Thank you.
Thank you both for being out there and protecting some of the most vulnerable and those that really need that guidance. So I wish you both very well, and have a happy day, and best to everybody at the station and Ed. So have a good day.
Thanks, Kirk. Time to let you go, and talk to you soon. Wonderful callers, and it's nice to have people calling in. So we're on our final stretch. We only have 5 minutes left. So Dr. Denise, I got your website here for more information. You can find her at drdenisemd.com, drdenisemd.com, and she's on Instagram at drdenisemd, as well as I think your Twitter's back up. Facebook at Dr. Denise MD, and the Instagram and the Facebook and her website, it's all there, drdenisemd.com, and then most of her tags are just Dr. Denise MD at Dr. Denise MD. you're really big on Instagram too.
Well, I actually, I don't want to make this about this. Maybe we'll do another show, but as an influencer, I was targeted and I've had fraud. I have a really quick series I did on Rocking a Betrayal. So I did, in my trajectory of doing good things in the world, I was targeted, fraud was committed, and I did win the lawsuit. So one of the reasons why I don't have Twitter is I was hacked and targeted, which the show must go on. I'm a warrior chick. When I talk about the power of words, thoughts, and actions, I live it. I've had my own versions. We can all look beautiful on social media, but we all have had some sort of living loss, some trauma. I also have a term called spiritual rape, when someone matches what we're doing and they gaslight us. And so I know we're having this talk about the power of words, thoughts, and actions, but going into your suffering and getting either professional help, calling a friend, leaning into it. That is, I could have been like ashamed that I had fraud committed on me, that I was duped by someone. But instead, I found out so many people get targeted. So everyone needs to
I've been targeted myself, and I don't find it duped. I find it hopeful, but I wouldn't let it happen twice.
Correct.
But at the same time, how we define, what happens to us and how we react to it defines our character.
Yes.
So we can grow from it, or we can victimize and things like that. And that is a whole nother show. You're right. But,
But it ties in with the power of words, thoughts, and actions. Kirk just called. We gave some tips on what to do with the holidays. But I also think it gets us closer. We actually end up finding our tribe when we're going. It's part of our own ascension path. That's why I also am founder of Ascension Media. How do we get there? And when we have things that happen, we follow our integrity, then we end up getting a closer tribe, right?
Yes.
Then you celebrate your friends and your family and the people you want to play. I want to play in Tiffany's play sandbox because you're fun, you're direct, you're sweet, you're kind, your words, thoughts, and actions match up. And that's beautiful. And so I think that's another thing to ask ourselves, take inventory. I actually have, hold on, I want to show you this.
Oh, don't you dare pull out that button.
No, I don't have it. I have this beautiful, this is going into 2022. I have my manifestations. And then
So wait, for our radio listeners, what are you holding up?
Oh, I'm holding up this beautiful, you can get this on Amazon. It's this beautiful book with all the chakras. And so essentially our words, thoughts, and actions are prayers. So the more sensory input we do, whether it's through song, through poetry, through writing, through moving meditation, we can heal ourselves and we can have our best day. So what I'm holding up is something that I'm going to be doing. It's a very elevated, I'm doing it tonight with a friend. We're going to be blessing the year. We're going to have candles, music, writing things down so we can really envision what we're wanting to have. And also there's going to be people that are on the off the island page. Literally, I have people that have not matched up with their words. A lot of fluff goes on with social media and people who really say they support you and they don't. And it's okay, everyone, to get rid of people in your life. I do that. I literally write it down and they're gone. They don't know they're gone, but they're gone. And I think it's very important. I'm kind, but I'm also a tough woman. I'm a warrior chick, and so are you. And that's what I love about you.
I like giving people the benefit of the doubt because it's, I don't want to have my guard up and lose out on a good friend rather than give them a shot. And then if they betray or do whatever, I only let it happen once.
Yes. But that's the gift, though. That is the gift of then surrounding yourself with people that match your heart, mind, and soul energy. And then you get really clear, and that contributes to happiness. It's not some magical achievement or a material possession. It's your mind. Your mind needs to be cultivated. And so that's what this is all about.
Yes, and don't let toxic people knock you off your track or derail you from what you are trying to do to change the world. Dr. Denise, I wish you the best, and thank you so much for being on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. What an honor. And I encourage you listeners to check out our website, drdenisemd.com. Follow her on Instagram at Dr. Denise MD, and Facebook at the same. And everyone, thank you so much for listening today. It's time to wrap up. And we're on every Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on youtube.com/MOC with Tiffany, and Twitter and LinkedIn Live and Facebook. You can find everything at the website at mocwithtiffany.com. And thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Ed. Thanks for everyone that's listening, all your friends out there, and to everyone that supports the show. And to be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. And take care.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.